Hi Nana. Yeah, in this video we will start a new lesson. Okay, known as study of gas laws. Question bank 1. Okay, so we'll start from the first question. What is the first question? Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks with appropriate words given within the bracket. Okay, that means, so here the questions are first question is having some sub questions which are nothing but fill in the blank related question. So under first question, sub question A, so it goes like this: pressure remaining constant. Okay, pressure remaining constant. That means pressure kept constant, and that means at constant pressure. Okay, pressure. So whenever any quantity is constant, we have to keep that quantity in the bracket. Okay, right. So here pressure remaining constant, the dash of an enclosed gas is directly proportional to the Kelvin temperature. So that means dash is directly proportional to Kelvin temperature. Kelvin temperature means we have to write a capital T. So generally, if you write a small t, it indicates degree centigrade temperature. Degree centigrade temperature. So for if you write capital T, it indicates Kelvin temperature. Okay, remember that for Kelvin temperature always we have to use capital T only. We should never use a small t for Kelvin temperature. Okay, right. So now, so here the dash of an enclosed gas is directly proportional to Kelvin temperature. So enclosed gas, what is the meaning of enclosed gas? Suppose if there is a container, okay, if there is a gas in it, if there is a gas in the container, it indicates that, it means that the gas is enclosed in the container. Okay, so it indicates that gas is enclosed in the container. So always remember that. Suppose I mean here what happens whenever temperature is raised, the volume increases. Okay, whenever absolute temperature is raised, the volume increases. So here the meaning of directly proportion means if one quantity increases, the other quantity also will increase. If one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. So in that case, then those two are said to be directly proportional to each other. So here always remember that volume of a given gas, okay, volume of a given gas, it is always directly proportional to temperature. Which temperature? Absolute temperature. It is also called as Kelvin temperature. Okay, always remember that volume of a gas is directly proportional to Kelvin temperature, or else it is also called as absolute temperature. So this is which law? So this is Charles law. This is Charles law. So Charles law mathematically can be represented like this. So here volume of a enclosed gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature when pressure is kept constant. So if you write something in the bracket, it indicates that it is kept constant. So here pressure is kept constant. So here what is the answer for this one? So volume. So volume of the gas. Okay, volume of the gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature, or else it's also called as Kelvin temperature. So when pressure is kept constant. So this is called as Charles law. Okay, so that means if temperature is increased, if you increase this gas, that volume will try to increase. Volume will increase. Volume of the gas will try to increase. It will try to expand. It will try to move away. But here the walls are acting as limits. This wall of the container will act as limit, and if the gas is unable to escape. Otherwise, the gas will escape. If this wall is not there, then that gas, if you keep any gas inside a container, if you start heating, what happens? The volume will try to increase, and this gas will try to move out from that place. Okay, it will try to expand, or else the volume will increase. Okay, right. So this is Charles' law. So what is the answer for this first question? Volume. So mass is not the correct answer. Volume is the correct answer, because mass cannot increase. If you increase the temperature, the mass does not increase. Mass of the gas. Suppose if you take 5 kg of a gas, and if you heat it, even after heating also, the mass remains as 5 kg only. But the volume will increase. Mass does not change with temperature. Mass of a gas or else mass of any substance does not change with temperature. If you raise the temperature, mass of the gas remains the same only. But if you raise the temperature, the volume of the gas will increase. Right. Next, sub-question B. Sub-question B. What is the sub-question B? The product of pressure and volume. The product of pressure and volume. The product of pressure and volume of a given mass of an enclosed gas, of a given mass of enclosed gas, okay, of a given mass of an enclosed gas at fixed temperature, at fixed temperature, or else we may call it as constant temperature also. At a fixed temperature, we may call it as a given temperature also. Okay, given temperature or fixed temperature or constant temperature. Okay, so given mass of a enclosed gas at constant temperature or else at fixed temperature is constant. Is constant. That means the product of P and V is constant. Okay, at a given mass of a gas and give fixed temperature. Okay, the product of P and V of a gas is always constant. Okay, so what type of that gas, the mass of the gas is constant, and even when mass is constant and the temperature is constant, what happens? The product of pressure and volume will also remains constant. Okay, this law was given by whom? Okay, so here the question is not finished. The question is like this. So this law was given by dash. In the bracket, it is given Charles or Boyle. Charles or Boyle is given. So what is the answer? So it is Boyle. This statement was given by Boyle. According to Boyle's law, so when mass of the gas and also when temperature of the gas, if these two are kept constant, that means if these two are fixed, then the product of pressure and volume of that gas will remain constant. So their product will remain constant. Their product, that means their multiplication, will remain constant. Okay. Right? So this is called as Boyle's law. This is called as Boyle's law. Right? So answer Boyle's law. Boyle. This statement, this law was given by Boyle. Right? Next. So next C. We'll learn the C. Statement C. See why it is constant. See, actually it is constant. Because see, suppose the product of pressure and volume remains constant. P is always inversely proportional to V. Remember that. P is always inversely proportional to V. For example, I have taken a gas in a container, in a cylinder. Let us assume. So now this is the gas, the volume of this much, this gas is this much, V. So I have fitted a piston. This is called as piston. Okay. So this piston, we can move this piston up and even down also. Okay. Now a certain volume of gas is taken in a container, and if I apply pressure on it, what happens? If I apply pressure on the gas, so how can I apply pressure on the gas? If I push this piston downward, so now that gas will be under pressure. So what happens? All the gas molecules, they will come closer and closer. All the gas molecules, they will come closer and closer. Because I have applied pressure on that piston, so that piston is moved inside. Before that it was here. Now the piston was moved here. So due to this, what happened? Before that, the volume of the gas was this much. It was this much. Now the volume, new volume is only this much only. That means here what I did, I have increased the pressure. When I have increased the pressure, what happened to the volume? Before that this much volume was there. Now only this much volume is left over. Okay, so that means all the volume is decreased. So when pressure is increased, volume is decreased. Such relationship is said to be inverse relation. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Here I am not changing the temperature of the gas, and even the mass of the gas is also not changed. So here all the entire mass of the gas, now also it is the suppose if it is initially if it is 5 grams, now also it is 5 grams only. So mass is not changed and the temperature is also not changed. That means mass and temperature are kept constant. They are not changed. They are fixed. So under these conditions, if the pressure is increased, if the pressure on the gas is increased, the volume of the gas, it is decreased. The volume of the gas is decreased. So when pressure is increased, volume is decreased. So this relationship can be represented like this. That means these two are inversely proportional to each other. So what is here? There is a proportionality symbol. This is called as proportionality symbol. So I can rewrite, I can remove this proportionality symbol with is equal to. If I remove this proportionality symbol, by using is equal to, I have to put a constant. I have put a letter which indicates constant. Okay, so that means a constant. So is equal to into constant. So these both together will be equal to proportionality. Okay, instead of proportionality, I can keep these two. Okay, right. Next, 1 by V. 1 by V. So here, upon bringing this V, this one, V towards the left side, so PV is equal to K. What is K? K is nothing but constant of proportionality. So that means PV, the product of pressure and volume, it is remained constant under constant mass and constant temperature of the gas. So that is the meaning of this statement. So the product of pressure and volume, of a given mass of enclosed gas at fixed temperature. That means given mass, certain mass of gas is given. Okay, so given mass of enclosed, so that gas is enclosed in the container, given mass of enclosed gas at fixed temperature. So here temperature is also fixed. We didn't change the temperature. So temperature and mass, they are not changed. Okay, so is constant. That means the product of pressure and volume, is constant. Okay, is constant. So this, okay, so this law was given by whom? Robert Boyle. This law was given by Robert Boyle. This is called as Boyle's law. Right? Next, question, sub question C in first question. Okay, what is sub question C in the first question? At Kelvin 0, at Kelvin 0, the molecular motion is the molecular motion is dash. The molecular motion is dash. In the bracket it is given as 0 or maximum. 0 or maximum. So which one is correct? Either 0 or maximum. So which one is correct? So 0 is correct, because at Kelvin 0 is also called as absolute 0. It's also called as absolute 0. So what is its value? Its value is minus 273 degrees centigrade, or else it is also called as 0 Kelvin. It is also called as 0 Kelvin. Not okay. It is 0 Kelvin. Okay, minus 273 degrees centigrade or else 0 Kelvin. Okay, it is called as absolute 0. Okay, so this is the starting point of the starting value of the Kelvin scale. Okay, so here actually at this temperature, that means at this temperature, the molecules does not move. The molecular motion means movement. So the molecule does not move. So when any substance, if it is cooled to this much temperature, so lowest possible temperature. So this is the lowest possible temperature. Its value is equal to 0 Kelvin. Hence it is also called as absolute 0 or else Kelvin 0. Kelvin 0 is also called as 0 Kelvin. Okay, so at this temperature, this is the lowest temperature. So it is impossible to reach this temperature also. It is practically impossible, but theoretically this is the lowest possible temperature. Okay, so at this temperature, no molecule will move. If any molecule is present, suppose if any substance is present, all the molecules will come closer and closer, and finally we'll get a state. We'll get a state where the molecule does not move. Generally, molecule will try to move but at this temperature, so at this lowest temperature, the molecule will cease to move. That means they does not move. They will fix it or else they will freeze. The molecule does not move at all. Okay, so such temperature is said to be absolute temperature or else Kelvin temperature, and the value of absolute temperature is minus 273 degrees centigrade. So what is the answer? At Kelvin 0, the molecular motion is 0. That means there is no motion. Molecule does not move at all. Okay, so maximum is wrong. Okay, so 0 is the correct answer. Right? Next, in the first question, we'll learn about sub question D. Now we will look into a sub question D related to the first question. Sub question D. What is sub question D? 1 Kelvin rise. 1 Kelvin. Okay, 1 Kelvin rise in temperature. 1 Kelvin rise in 1 Kelvin rise in temperature is equal to dash degrees centigrade. Okay, dash degree centigrade. In the bracket it is given as 1 or 274. Okay, 1 or 274. It is not 1 by 274. It is 1 or 274. Okay, rise in temperature. Rise in temperature. That means dash degrees centigrade rise in temperature. So 1 Kelvin rise in temperature is equal to dash degree centigrade rise in temperature. Okay, so here either the answer should be either 1 or 274. Which one is correct? 1 is correct. For example, 1 Kelvin. Suppose if I have 25 Kelvin temperature, or else if I have 300 Kelvin temperature. Let us assume 300 Kelvin temperature. 300 Kelvin temperature is equal to how much? It is nothing but 27 degrees centigrade. 300 Kelvin is nothing but 27 degrees centigrade. Okay, suppose if I raise this temperature by 1 Kelvin, so now it will become what? 301 Kelvin. Then the centigrade temperature also will rise by 1 unit only, so it will become 28 degrees centigrade. How? Always remember that. So here there is a conversion. So here x degree centigrade is equal to 273 plus 273 plus degree centigrade Kelvin. The value of x Kelvin plus the value of x Kelvin. So that means this much Kelvin. X degree centigrade is equal to this much Kelvin. For example, if it is 27 degrees centigrade, 27 degrees centigrade is equal to 273 plus, so x is 27, so here x is 20, so 273 plus 27 Kelvin. So how much it will be? 273 plus 27, it will be equal to 300 Kelvin. Okay, 27 degrees centigrade is equal to 300 Kelvin. Okay, like this. Suppose if I take 28 degrees centigrade, so here x, if here in this case I have taken x is equal to 27. If I take x is equal to 28, that means 28 degrees centigrade. So if I take x is equal to 28, then 28 degrees centigrade is equal to how many Kelvin? So 273 plus, here instead of x, what did I take? 28. So here also I have taken 28 Kelvin. So it will be equal to how much? 273 plus 28, how much? It will be equal to 301 Kelvin. So here this temperature, degree centigrade temperature, if I raise by 1 unit, then Kelvin temperature also will raise by 1 unit. So if I raise the temperature of Kelvin temperature by 1 unit, then degree centigrade temperature also will rise by 1 unit. So from 27 to 28 it will become. If I raise the Kelvin temperature from 300 to 301, that means by 1 Kelvin if I raise the temperature, okay, if 1 Kelvin rise in temperature is equal to 1 degree centigrade. So here answer will be 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. Okay, I hope you understood. Right. Next. So what is the answer to this one? So 1 Kelvin rise in temperature is equal to 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. So we can take this one as example. Okay, so 1 Kelvin rise in temperature is equal to 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. What is the difference between this one? So from 27 to 28. So there is a rise in temperature from 27 to 28. By how much degrees it is raised? By 1 degree centigrade. Okay, here also there is a rise in temperature by 1 Kelvin. Okay, if the temperature is raised by 1 Kelvin, then the centigrade temperature also will raise by 1 unit. Okay, so this is about sub question D related to first question. And one more sub question is also given in the same first question. Okay, so what is that one? 100 Kelvin is equal to 100 Kelvin is equal to dash degree centigrade. Okay, here minus 173 or else minus 173 or else 100. Okay, 100. Okay, minus 173 or 100 is given. So what is the correct answer? Either this one or this one. Which one is correct? So already we have discussed the topic related to this question in the previous question. So here x degree centigrade, it will be always equal to 273 plus x Kelvin. x degree centigrade will always be equal to 273 plus x Kelvin. So here 100 Kelvin is given. So that means this entire value is 100. It is equal to 100 Kelvin. So it is equal to 100 Kelvin. Okay, 100 Kelvin. So this value is equal to 100 Kelvin. This value is equal to 100. So that means 273 plus x is equal to 100 Kelvin. Then what is x? Then x will be equal to how much? 100. Bring this 273 to that side. 100 minus 273. So it will be equal to minus 173. Because here it is given as 100 Kelvin. So this is a general equation. So here, so this much Kelvin. So this much degree centigrade is equal to this much Kelvin. So this much Kelvin, that much Kelvin value is given. So this value is given as 100. So this value is nothing but 273 plus x is equal to 100. So we need to find x. That means x in degree centigrade. So dash degree centigrade. So x value will be, so simply keep that x there only and bring this 273 to other side. So it will become 100 minus 273. 100 minus 273. So x is expressed in degree centigrade. Okay, x is, so don't keep k here. Okay, so only we have to use the mathematical equation. Okay, don't use the scales now. Okay, so now x will be the value of x will be equal to minus 173. So that means minus 173 degree centigrade. So minus 173 degree centigrade will be the answer to this question. Okay, right. Next question. What is the next question? So with this, first question is finished. Now we will learn the second question. What is the second question? So question number 2, it is related to match the following. Okay, so there are two columns. Okay, match the statements. Match the statements in column A. Match the statements in column A with the statements in column B. With the statements in column B. So there are two columns. One is column A, column B. Column A, column B. Okay, column A and column B are given. So there are two columns. So under column A, so there are few statements. Statement A, thermometric scale. Okay, thermometric scale having lowest Kelvin scale having thermometric scale having lowest temperature, lowest temperature 0 Kelvin. Okay, so which thermometric scale having lowest temperature as 0 Kelvin? So already we have learnt about different thermometers. Okay, different thermometers. So here, suppose if you see degree centigrade thermometer. So what is the lowest value? 0 degree centigrade. It will start from 0 degree centigrade and it will be up to 100 degree centigrade. Okay, there are 100 divisions. So this is degree centigrade. So what is the lowest value in degree centigrade scale? It is 0 degree centigrade. But if you see Kelvin temperature, if you see the Kelvin temperature, So here it starts from minus 273 degrees centigrade, minus 273 degrees centigrade. Okay, right? So it will range up to 373. It will range up to minus 273 onwards. It will start and ends with 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, it starts from minus 273. Okay, so it rises and somewhere it is 0 degrees centigrade and above 0 degrees centigrade. So it will go up to 100. So below 0 degrees centigrade there are 273 divisions, and above 0 degrees centigrade there are 100 divisions. Okay, so these are given in degree centigrade. The same corresponding values in kelvins if I take, it will be equal to 0 Kelvin. It is equal to 0 Kelvin. This value is exactly equal to 0 Kelvin, and this value exactly equal to 273 Kelvin, and this value will be exactly equal to 373. Okay, it will be equal to 373 Kelvin. So this is on which scale? This scale is called as Kelvin scale. This is called as Kelvin scale thermometer. And this is what? This is degree centigrade, or else simply Celsius thermometer. Celsius thermometer, or else simply we can call it as Celsius scale. So this is Celsius scale and this is Kelvin scale. So here the question is thermometric scale. So these two are thermometric scales. What is the meaning of thermometric scale? Thermometric means the scale which reads the temperature is said to be thermometric scale. So there are different thermometric scales. So here this is one thermometric scale and this is another thermometric scale. So thermometric scale having lowest temperature 0 Kelvin. So which scale is having lowest temperature as 0 Kelvin? So Kelvin scale is having lowest temperature as 0 Kelvin. So here so to this statement, so in the column B there are certain answers. We have to identify the correct answer. So first answer 1 is Boyle's law. So this is nowhere related to this one. And second one is perfect gas equation. Perfect gas equation. This is also not related. This is also not related to this statement. Next, third one is, what is third one? Third one is given as Kelvin scale. Kelvin scale. Yes, this is matching with this one. And fourth one is given as Kelvin 0. It is given as Kelvin 0. But this is not the answer, because here it is asked which scale, okay, which thermometric scale is having lowest temperature as 0 Kelvin. So here we should not mention Kelvin 0 as the Kelvin 0 is not the correct answer. So Kelvin scale is the correct answer. Okay, so which thermometric scale? That means Kelvin scale. So this is not Kelvin 0. This is called as Kelvin scale. And this is called as Celsius scale. So answer to A is third answer. And one more answer is also given under column B. What is that one? Charles' law. Charles' law. So out of 5, so here third one is correct to the statement A. Correct answer to the statement A. Right. Now we'll look into the statement B of second question. Statement B. What is statement B? A relation between pressure and volume. A relation between pressure and volume. Already we have seen in the first question only a relation between pressure and volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume, or else PV is equal to constant. at a constant mass and constant temperature. That means for a given mass of gas at a fixed temperature, the product of pressure and volume is constant. This is called as Boyle's law. Okay, so the relation between pressure and volume, at constant temperature, at constant temperature. So this is the statement B. So to this statement, so which one is correct answer? So Boyle's law. Already we learned that PV is equal constant. It is given by Robert Boyle. So hence for B, say question B. So what is the answer? For B, 1 is the answer. Okay, for A 3 is the answer. For A 3 is the answer. Next, there is another statement C. What is that one? A temperature at which molecular motion stops. A temperature at which molecular motion stops. What is the meaning of molecular motion stops? That means molecular motion will become zero. So in the previous answer only we have learned, in the previous question we learned that at which temperature, at Kelvin 0 or else absolute 0, what happened? The molecules does not move. The molecular motion will be stopped. So here that means molecular motion will become 0. So for sub question C, so what is the answer? Kelvin 0. At which temperature? A temperature at which molecular motion stops is nothing but Kelvin 0. Okay, Kelvin 0. So here fourth for C, fourth is the correct answer for the question, sub question C. For sub question C, fourth is the correct answer. Next, sub question D is given. What is that one? A relation between volume and pressure. Volume and temperature. A relation between volume and temperature. Volume and temperature at constant pressure. At constant pressure. At constant pressure. See, I am writing here. At constant pressure. So when pressure is kept constant, mass of the gas also will remain constant. When these two are kept constant, then volume of the gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Okay, it is directly proportional to absolute temperature. So this statement or this mathematical statement was given by Charles. Okay, but here remember that, so volume, temperature and pressure, so these three are known as variables. So here if you establish a relationship between any two variables, then the third variable remain constant. So this is Charles' law. Boyle's law. So here P is inversely proportional to volume when temperature is kept constant. Okay, mass and temperature is kept constant. So here this relation is between pressure and volume. When you establish a relationship between any two variables, then the third variable remain constant. So here volume and temperature are variables and pressure is constant. In this case, pressure and volume are variables and temperature is constant. So this is known as Boyle's law. This is known as Boyle's law and this is known as Charles' law. So here the relationship between volume and temperature at constant pressure. Volume and temperature at constant pressure. So such relationship is called as, it is given by whom? Charles' law. So here fifth for D option, for D statement, fifth answer is correct answer. Okay, next E. Sub question E. Relationship between pressure, relationship between between pressure, okay, a relationship between pressure, volume and temperature. Pressure, volume and temperature. Okay, temperature of a gas. So here so volume is directly proportional to temperature. This is Charles' law, and volume is inversely proportional to pressure under mass and temperature constant. So this is Boyle's law, this is Charles' law. If you combine these two, so we can write like this. Volume is directly proportional to temperature and inversely proportional to pressure. Okay, so if you combine these two, then you will get the relationship like this. So here we can remove this proportionality symbol. Okay, here we can remove this proportionality. Okay, upon this proportionality symbol, if you remove by a symbol known as equal to, then we have to introduce a constant. Okay, this is called as proportionality constant into T by P. V is equal to K into T by P, or else bring this P this side and even T also, then it will becomes P into V by T is equal to constant. Okay, P into V by T is equal to constant. Okay, so this equation is called as perfect gas equation, or else it is also called as combined gas equation. So this is called as perfect gas equation. Okay, so in this perfect gas equation tells about the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature. So here the relation between pressure, volume and temperature of a gas is given by perfect gas equation. So here for statement E, so second option is the correct answer. Second option is the perfect gas equation. So how did we get the perfect gas equation? This perfect gas equation is obtained from this relationship. Then how this relationship we got? So this relationship we got by combining these two laws. So one is Charles' law, okay, and another one is Boyle's law. If you combine these two laws, we'll get a relationship like this. So upon replacing this proportionality symbol by equal to symbol, so this symbol is equal to and a proportionality symbol. So K is nothing but proportionality symbol, proportionality constant. It is called as proportionality constant. So V will be equal to K into T by P. V is directly proportional to T by P. So this one will become like this. Okay, so upon rearranging, if I bring this pressure this side and even temperature also this side, so finally we will get this equation. This equation is known as perfect gas equation. Okay, so this perfect gas equation we can obtain by combining the two laws. Which laws? Charles' law and Boyle's law. Okay, so this perfect gas equation tells about the relationship between pressure, volume and temperature. Okay, so we will learn the other answer in the next video.